So hopefully this is going to be adjusted so you can see me. So I feel like this is a really good, just all over wake up flow. It hits so many different areas of the body and areas of the brain. So the idea is that you could do this like right when you wake up. So you're going to start out just sitting on your mat, pulling your feet as close to your tailbone as you can. You're going to wrap your arms around your knees. Inhale, take a deep breath in, feel your belly pressing against your legs, straighten back. And exhale, squeeze your knees, tuck your nose into your knees. Give yourself a hug. And staying tucked like this, we're just going to take 3 slow breaths, grounding down into the body, giving ourselves this hug. Maybe sway a little bit from side to side, feeling the connection between your hip bones, the earth, your feet in the earth, rounding through the spine, maybe even arch the spine in such a way that you create a little space between your belly and your legs. Breathing in and exhale. We'll take the hands down to either side of the butt. Maybe scoot the butt back a little bit on the mat. And we're just going to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae with as much control as possible onto our back. Maybe you get a couple pops in your spine as you do this. Once we're just laying on our back, we're going to stretch the arms overhead. Inhale and arch the back. See if you can just get the lower back off the ground here. So the shoulders are planted. The glutes are planted. Taking a deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we will take the knees into the chest. Give ourselves a hug here. Breathing into the spine. We're going to take a hold of our feet or our ankles here. And then we're going to shine the soles of our feet up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees. Take the knees in idea to either side of your rib cage. And we'll take a happy baby here. Happy baby can be a really fun pose to make as your first pose, because it's actually a really deep hip opener, back stretch. And while you're here in happy baby, first just notice where you feel the stretch the most. And then as you exhale, see if you can really use the muscles of your low back to press the tailbone into the earth so your whole low back is connected to the earth. This should increase the stretch in your hamstrings and inner thighs. You can always back off and just hold on to your legs at the shins or ankles. We're just holding happy baby here, breathing into the belly. Exhaling, maybe sighing it out. Letting go of the day thus far. Maybe you kick your right foot into your hand and straighten the right leg out a little bit for a hamstring stretch, flexing the right foot. Take the right knee back into the chest. Maybe you straighten the left foot out towards the left side. Hamstring stretch in the left foot. You can kick each foot alternatively into each hand a couple times here. Warming into the legs. Remembering to stay glued to the ground in your low back. Awesome. And then we'll slowly release the feet and lower them to the ground. We're going to take reclining butterfly pose here. You're going to take the soles of the feet together on the ground and let the knees fall apart from each other. Resting the tailbone on the ground. Maybe adjusting the shoulders here so the shoulders can be nice and tucked below your chest. If this is too intense for you, you can always use a pillow beneath each outer thigh so that that's not so much of a strain on your inner thighs. But if this is comfortable for you, this reclining butterfly pose, you can take your right hand to your low belly and your left hand to your heart. And take 3 more breaths here, sort of in the opposite pose that we started in. First pose is all about grounding, and the second pose is all about opening. Breathing into the stretch in the thighs, breathing into the opening of the pelvis. One more breath here. And taking the hands to the outsides of the thighs, we will slowly draw the knees closer and closer together, like slow motion. Do this. Then once the knees are hip width apart, we'll replant the feet. Stretch the legs out one at a time. Take one more of those big good morning stretches, like just pulling your hands towards the wall behind you. Inhaling, exhaling. We're going to see if we can come up into a boat pose. So you can always start with just the toes on the ground, keeping the hands, palms facing up, even at either side. Or maybe lift each foot individually and hover the toes. And then level up from that would be taking the shins just parallel to the ground in front of you. So you could set like that breakfast in bed table on top of your shins. And we're just going to hold this for 10, 9, wherever you're at, 8, 7, keep a nice straight back, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll lay back down, take the knees into the chest, 8 deep, inhale in, exhale out through the mouth. We'll press the right foot out and away from us, extending the right leg. Inhale, we'll take the left knee into the chest, and then left knee in right hand. We'll cross the left knee across the right body. Stretch that left hand out towards the left and look towards the palms. Supine twist. Breathing into this opening in the chest, keeping both shoulder blades on the ground. Imagining that gravity just eventually will take that left knee to the ground on the right side of you, even if it doesn't actually reach. We'll inhale, come back to center. We'll take the right knee into the chest this time. Inhale. And exhale. Right knee and left hand. We'll take the right knee across the left body. Extend through the right hand. Supine twist on the opposite side. Softening any expression on the face. Softening through the belly. We'll inhale, come back to center. And this time we're going to rock our way back up into a boat pose. But this time we're going to see if we can extend the legs out. Maybe make a Charlie's Angel finger gun with your hands. That is not the official yoga term for this hand posture, by the way. And then we're going to take the hands out towards the right, rotating chest, and move the legs towards the left. So inhale here, twisted boat, exhale, move it to the other side. And you can always do this with your toes on the ground. Inhale here, exhale to the other side. Inhale, exhale, 3 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, twist, exhale. Inhale, twist, exhale. And then 1 more. Inhale, twisting to exhale. And then we're just going to come to seated. Maybe rub our belly a couple times. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Stick your tongue out. Lion's breath. 1 more just like that. Deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth, tongue sticking out. A fun little stretch. Next, we are going to take just sort of a runner stretch here. So we're going to take the right sole of the right foot into the inner thigh of the left leg. We'll inhale to get tall here. Stretch the arms overhead. And then we'll exhale to lower the chest over this left leg, pulling the left toes in towards the face, inhaling to straighten to the back. Exhaling, imagining your eyes pulling you like a rope towards the left toes, even if you're up here and this is an intense hamstring stretch for you. Notice where you feel the stretch. Maybe you just shift your weight from one hand to the other, swaying a bit, seeing if this gets into your low back at all. Inhaling here. If you're super flexible and you want to grab onto your left foot, feel free. Just making sure to keep that back really straight. If you can grab onto your left foot here, maybe give yourself a little mini foot massage, because why not? Then we'll inhale, come up. We'll take the left fingertips outside the left leg. Inhale, take the right hand up and over, side bend. Breathe in here. And then we'll exhale, take the right hand in front of us, crossing over the right knee. We'll plant the right hand behind us. And on an inhale, we'll power up through the glutes and press into the sole of the left foot and the knee and shin of the right leg. Opening through the chest, pressing into that right hand, planting it firmly into the mat. Imagine yourself in a wild thing or a back bend here. Breathe into the heart. Just a couple more moments here. Maybe you even take a circle or two with that left arm. Then we'll exhale, come back down to earth. We're going to take both hands to the back of the mat. We're going to take that left knee between two hands and take sort of a hybrid pigeon pose. Sorry, that right knee between. We're going to just create kind of this shape with the legs. So it's like your right knee is pointing towards the back of your mat. And then the left knee is bent and directly below, maybe a foot below the right foot. So you'll inhale here, turning your chest towards the back of the mat. And exhale, just bend over that right knee. And you can actually just take a pigeon pose here if you prefer to do that, but this is a slightly gentler way to get into the hips first thing. Breathe into your body here, grounding down through the hips. We'll exhale, come back to your center. And repeat that flow on the opposite side. So taking the right foot out in front of us this time. And the left foot comes into the right inner thigh. We'll inhale here. And exhale, slowly lower the chest over this right thigh. Pulling that right hip into the hip socket. Inhaling here. Maybe you introduce that swing from side to side in the hands. Maybe you reach out for that right foot and give yourself a little mini foot massage. Maybe you're up here and it's really tight. And if that's the case, just take long, slow, deep breaths and try to relax into the posture. Take one more deep breath wherever you're at with this. And we'll exhale to come up through center, taking the right hand outside the right thigh. We'll inhale, take the left fingertips up and over, side stretch. Breathing into this stretch. Grounding down into the left hip, so that left hip is not coming off the ground. Then we'll exhale, take the left fingertips in front and across the left knee. Plant the left hand behind us into the mat. And then we're going to do that same wild thing stretch on this side. So power up through the glutes, press into that left hand, come onto the sole of the right foot, and plant that left knee and left shin into the ground. Breathe into the hips here, really open up through the pelvis. Imagine that you're in a back bend here. Maybe keep a little micro bend in that left elbow. You're not locking the joint. Maybe take a circle or two with the right arm. And then we'll exhale, come back down. The pose we were just in. And we're going to take both hands to face the back of the mat. Scoot that left knee in between the right hands, or in between the hands. I'll do it on this side of my mat so you can see what it looks like. Then we'll take that right knee, the right inner knee and right inner thigh, and plant it maybe about a foot, between a foot and a half of a foot below the sole of the left foot. The knees are both at about a 90-degree angle, so about a right angle. We'll inhale and get tall, look ahead of us. And exhale, lean forward over that left knee. See if you get a nice stretch in the hips here. Maybe you feel a little shifting. Breathing into the back. Imagining that there is an equal weight in both of the hips here. So you're trying to get the hips level with the earth, even though my hips don't even touch the earth here, so. But that's the idea. Inhaling, and you can always just make this full pigeon if you prefer that pose. It is your journey. Then we will come back to center. We'll roll over the knees. Do a quick cat-cow. Inhaling to stretch through the chest, dropping the belly. Exhaling to arc through the spine. And then we're going to curl the toes under. Inhale, press the hips up. Take our first down dog of the day. Pedal out through the feet. Imagining that we're going to let the heels of the feet touch the earth, even if they never actually reach. Straightening and bending through the knees. Pressing into those hands to really imagine getting your chest to touch your knees, even though that isn't possible. Again, that's the idea we're going for here. You can wag the tail of your dog a couple times, just taking the hips from side to side a couple times. And we'll exhale, come forward into a plank pose. Just holding this, making sure that we're pressing equally into all the fingers and making sure we have a lot of space between each of the fingers. Holding this for 3, 2, 1, and then as slow as you can, lower yourself to the ground. Come onto your belly. And inhale, peel your chest off the ground for baby cobra. Hands should be planted directly beneath your shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, chest comes back onto the ground. We take the hands out behind us. And on another inhale, we're gonna rock it up through the feet, rock it up through the hands, and take a locust pose. To make this extra challenging, you can glue the feet and inner thighs together here. We're gonna hold this, pulling up through the chest, pulling up through the legs, staying relaxed through the neck for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll come back onto the hands. Take a moment of rest, just laying on your belly here. And then on an inhale, we will press ourselves maybe to the knees, maybe straight up into our down dog. Look towards the front of the mat. Bend through the knees. Imagine that you just have a spring in your knees here. Look between the hands. And on an exhale, jump the feet to the top of the mat, right behind the hands. Hang here, a bit of ragdoll forward fold, and just allow yourself to catch your breath. Return to the breath. Return to this flow that we're entering here. Awesome. We'll inhale, take flat back. So you can press the hands into the thighs, the shins, or fingertips on the ground. Exhale back into our forward fold. And then inhale, slowly roll ourselves back up into standing. Mountain pose. Hands at heart second for a moment. Ground. We'll take the hands overhead. Inhale here and exhale, sit back in our chair. We're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, making sure that the knees are far behind the toes so you can look down and see your big toes. 7, 6, 5, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. 4, 3, 2, really pull up towards the ceiling with those hands. 2 and 1. Bend back down over your legs, forward fold. Step back into your down dog. Come to plank, chaturanga, or half of a push-up down towards the earth. Come onto the tops of your feet. Press through the hands, straighten the elbows for an upward dog or cobra. Inhale here. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale, take the right foot up behind us, three-legged dog. Bend the knee so that you're trying to get your right foot to touch your right glute. Inhale here. Exhale, move through plank, taking the right knee with you. Hover in plank, holding the right knee between your arms for 3, 2, 1. Step the right foot between the hands. Come onto the left knee for a low lunge here. Inhaling and exhaling, stretching through that left hip flexor for a moment here. Breathe. You can always take a deep breath in and sigh out through the mouth. And then we're going to come up onto the left foot. And inhale, rise up into warrior 1. Making sure that the right knee is behind the right toes. Shining the heart forward. Inhaling, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Feeling powerful. You are in warrior 1. You are a warrior. Taking the hands to heart center, getting really low in this for just a few more seconds. We'll come onto the ball of the left foot. Look directly in front of us on the mat, and we're going to try to come right into a warrior 3. So if you're ready, press all the way into that right foot. Choose a spot on the floor to anchor your gaze to, and just tip forward like a teapot until your left foot is kicking out behind you. Hold this here if you can. You can always take fingertips down to the ground if it's just not there for you today. Holding this, kicking that left foot to the ceiling behind us. And then we're going to take the left fingertips towards the ground and inhale. See if we can open the right hand up towards the ceiling, twisting the chest towards the right while staying in this balancing pose. Super challenging. Reversed warrior 3. Inhale here. And exhale, take the right fingertips to the ground. And this is going to be really challenging. We're going to take a half moon here. So placing the right fingertips on the ground in front of the right foot. We're going to imagine stacking the left hip on top of the right hip. Inhale and open the left fingertips up towards the sky. Open the chest towards the left side of the room. Flex the left toes. Half moon. Inhale here. If you fall out, that is so fine. Just come back to it. Re-anchor your gaze. Focus on your breath. Just holding this for a little bit longer. And then we'll bend the right knee and come into a warrior 2. Just landing that left foot towards the back of the mat. Knife edge of the left foot's parallel with the back edge of the mat. We'll inhale, take the arms out into a T. And exhale, bend into that right knee. Taking a warrior 2, nice and strong. Really pulling those fingertips towards the wall behind us so we're not collapsing in here. We'll inhale, take the right fingertips forward. And exhale, walk the left hand down the left leg. Peaceful warrior. Keeping your right knee super bent. And we'll come back up to standing. Heel toe that left foot closer towards the front leg. We'll inhale, arms in a T here. Look forward. And imagine moving just your shoulders forward as if you're going to like turn off a light switch on the opposite wall. So keeping the hips where they are and just moving your torso forward until you can't anymore. And then once you're as far as you can go, just drop the right hand, and wherever it lands on the right leg is where it's supposed to be. And open that left hand up towards the ceiling. Triangle pose. Opening through the chest, inhaling and exhaling. Taking both fingertips on either side of that right foot. Walk that left foot even closer. Straighten through both the knees, facing the hips towards the front of the room. We'll inhale to get square through the chest and shoulders, so straightening through the back. And exhale, bend over that right leg. For super deep hamstring stretch. If this is like not happening, come on to blocks, or you can always just like even take a fingertip on the wall and bend over that leg until you feel stretch. Great, and then we'll bend the knees, plant both hands on the ground, step the feet back to the back of the mat, plank pose, halfway push up down to the earth, flip the toes under, inhale, press up to down dog, or up to up dog, sorry. And then exhale, press up into down dog. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. If that was super confusing, no worries. It is just a new experience. It's perfect the way it happens. Be gentle with yourself. We'll inhale, take the left leg out behind us. Exhale, bend the left knee and pull it up towards the sky. Open up through the left hip. Inhale here. And exhale, come through your plank. Pulling that left knee into the chest, hovering the left knee between the arms. And we'll step the left foot up between the hands. Come onto the right knee. Inhale in our low lunge here. Maybe rocking from side to side a couple times. Stretching through the right hip flexor. And then we're going to come on to the sole of the right foot. Press into the left foot and inhale, come up into our warrior one. Super strong, reaching the fingertips towards the sky and at the same time sinking down into the hips. Holding this, allowing heat to build in the legs. Breathing into the belly. Wonderful. And then we're going to move into our balance play. So maybe you even just have a little fake smile on your lips for a second before starting to maintain a sense of humor. Because balance is great for building balance, but also for building humility in ourselves. So taking the hands to heart center, come on to the right toes. Find a spot on the ground in front of your left foot to anchor your gaze to. And slowly straighten through that left leg. Tip forward like a teapot. Flex the right foot. If you fall out like I just did, shake yourself off and come right back into it. Holding this, feeling the micro adjustments that happen in your left foot to keep you balancing. Anchoring your gaze to something, breathing. And we'll take the right fingertips to the earth, front of the left foot. And we'll inhale, open that left hand up towards the sky for a revolving half moon. Taking that right leg up towards the sky, still staying active in the glutes. Hold this, and then we'll switch hands. Taking the left fingertips in front of the left foot, stack the right hip on top of the left hip, and inhale, open that right hand up towards the ceiling. Just regular old half moon pose. Awesome. Holding this, if you come out, that is okay. If you fall out, that is okay. In fact, stay here until you fall out. That's really good practice for being able to adjust and be flexible in the moment. Eventually, we're going to bend that left knee and allow that right foot to just fall into the floor behind us, coming up into our warrior two. Inhale here. Pull the arms out to a T and exhale, bend into the knee. Pressing into the knife edge of that right foot. Inhale here. Take the left hand forward, up and back. Crawl the right hand down the right leg. Bend through the left knee for a peaceful warrior. Inhale here, side stretch. Feel that stretch all the way from your inner hip of your left side of your body into the tip of your middle finger of your left hand. Inhale here. Exhale, come back up to center. Heel toe that back foot in. Straighten out through the left foot and left leg. Then we'll hinge at the hips. Reach forward with those left fingertips. And once you can't go any farther forward, just drop the left hand onto the left leg. Inhale, peel the right hand up towards the sky. Triangle pose. If your left fingertips touch the earth, that is awesome. But if your left fingertips touch the top of your left thigh, that is also awesome. Breathe into this, feeling the stability of triangle pose. And then we will imagine taking the fingertips to either side of this left foot, walking the right foot in even further. And then take your version of this intense side stretch. Keeping the back nice and flat, just folding over this left leg. Inhale here. Exhale. Softening through the neck, softening through the jaw and the forehead. We're going to take both feet to the top of the mat now, or actually to the middle of the mat now. We're going to bend through the knees, come onto the toes, plant the hands shoulder width apart in front of you on the mat. You might know what's coming, keeping those knees tucked into the chest. So imagine that your arms are in plank. You're going to come up higher onto the toes, raising the hips so that maybe you can stack the right and left knees on top of the triceps, tucking them into the armpits or on the outside of the arms, but maybe aiming for as high up on the back of the arms as you can make it. You're going to take the hips higher and higher up, stack those knees on top of the arms, gaze at the top of your mat, find your gaze point, and imagine shifting your weight farther and farther forward until you feel the weight rock from the heels of your hands into your fingers. Then maybe you try hovering that right toe off the ground, and then maybe the left toe follows it. And then maybe you're suddenly magically in crow pose. Hold this, or don't, or try and try again. Wherever you are, we'll slowly land the feet back on the earth. Take the knees onto the mat. Take the big toes together. Take the knees as wide as the mat apart. Sit the hips back. Inhale and exhale, side out in a wide-legged child's pose. Take a few slow, deep breaths here. Feeling the heart rate return to normal. Feeling the belly expand. Notice if you feel a difference in your body from when you first began class today. Inhaling deeply through the nose. Exhaling softly, slowly. Staying in child's pose. Maybe if your heart is making contact with the earth, you can feel your heartbeat against the ground. Maybe if you're kind of over child's pose, you can crawl forward on the knees, lay down on the belly, fold the arms, make a pillow for yourself, and lay the cheek or the forehead on this pillow you've created with your arms. Grounding down, feeling your heartbeat now through your belly against the ground. Feeling a sense of pride in yourself for taking this time today to challenge yourself, to spend time on you. Feeling the texture of the breath and the temperature as it enters and exits the body. Softening through the back, softening through the neck. Closing the eyes if they aren't already closed. accepting the moment for what it is, observing your thoughts as they pass, not trying to change or control anything in this one moment. Give yourself a pass to just exist for a few more breaths. And then slowly, keeping the eyes closed, we'll cross through the hands, climb up onto the knees, and come into an easy seated position. Maybe reclosing the eyes if you opened them to sit up, but then taking hands at heart center, feeling the blood draining back into the body, feeling the heartbeat returning back to its normal rhythm. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale out through the mouth. Releasing any last stressors or tensions. Then reach the hands around you and give yourself a hug, crawling those fingertips in towards the sky. Inhale here, squeezing yourself. Exhale, release. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.